here. Okay. Okay, good evening again. Everyone is on mute right now. If something urgent, put in the chat. Later on, I will be opening the mic so you can talk. The today session is Introduction to the Data 650 course. And I'm Elena Gorcheva. I'm the host of this online meeting. With us is Professor Gopati and Elena Baitenskaya and Linish David, who are the teaching assistant for both sections. This semester we have two sections of 650, and the organization will be the first part. The first 5 weeks, both sections will be, we will be teaching co-teaching myself and Professor Gopati. I will be teaching the first 5 weeks, then Professor Gopati is going to teach the next 6 weeks, and at the end of the course, both of us will be in the final assignment in which is in stream analytics. So the purpose of the today presentation, before going to this, I will unmute so Professor Gopati and Elena can say, oh, I unmute everyone, so that was not a good idea. I'm starting. Gopati, can you say, oh, I think he doesn't have even audio yet.
Oh, yeah. I am
yes,
here.
you, okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Data 650. We are ready to be teaching the two sections this in spring. I will be on the discussion boards quite a bit, so just follow my hints as you go around and read the materials. You feel free to send me questions or post any questions and comments on the discussion, or email me whenever you have some material that you want to talk about. Again, welcome, and hope you all have a great semester.
Thank you, Elena. Elena is the TA, and some of you already has had exchange with her. Can you say a few words about yourself?
Well, yes. So I wanted to say that I've been here with UMUC about probably the longest. If you look at all TAs, if you could compare all TAs in the program, I have been here the longest, almost like 10 years, 9 years. Yes. So some of you may have worked with me in the Data 610 or Data 630. It's highly possible. So I look forward to a nice semester, and usually I'm good with responding to emails quickly. So I'm usually good with it. Just keep it in mind. All right.
So we can continue. I didn't say a word of me. I think most of you know me. Besides being a professor, I'm presenting myself in the introduction. I'm actually the program chair for the Master of Science in Data Analytics, and the whole curricula, update, maintain is I'm responsible for. And I enjoy doing this, not only teaching, I enjoy applying my experience to the curriculum to prepare, let's say, integral professional for the industry. With no more for this specific class, the purpose is to outline the course, the grading, some miscellaneous topic, and I will start with the first week, what is the topic and the activity. So I will try to be compact, no more than 35, 40 minutes, so you have time to ask questions. In meantime, please keep your question. You can put them in the chat, but we will be responding usually at the end. So the topic of the first week of our course, like the name, is the introduction to big data. And this is the topic we start discussing in the first week of the class before approaching any specific assignment. And as you know, you have heard about big data all the time, even before going to the program. This is very wide, has been used in very extensively term, and I would say use and abuse because there is no formal definition, and you cannot find two people which will say exactly the same thing what big data is. So that's why we have the discussion in class so we can convey common understanding and then approaching all the topic in the class. There is one very primitive definition of big data, which is, again, there is not such a thing of definition, strong definition in the term of definition, but very simplistically is when you cannot deal with the data in your personal computer, that means you may have big data. This is not totally true, but is very close to the truth. Actually, in broad sense, we are talking about more encompassing different aspects of the data. And actually, when the data is not possible to be stored, shared, analyzed, visualized with the tool at hand, then we start talking about data. And this happened, let's say, 10, 12 years ago when Yahoo, with the huge amount of data they had in the email, and Facebook with the data, uh, when uh, when the technology at that point was not able to store, share, and analyze this data, then at hand came what was the beginning of the technology in big data, Hadoop. And today, still many people continue to um, relate big data with Hadoop. Let me tell you, that was the beginning, and I would suggest we point to the second bullet, which is when the existing technology cannot deal with the data, we refer to them as big data. And Hadoop was one solution. Things have evolved over these 10 years. New tool has appeared, and this new tool has appeared because um, the data we have, different enterprise, we cannot deal only with Hadoop with all the data and get actually the idea is not only to store this data, but to be able to search, share, analyze, and visualize. So new data architecture appeared like NoSQL databases in parallel, analytical sandboxes, in the cloud services, and we're talking about progress in technology, all of them to help deal with data. So when we refer to big data, we have to look in this broader sense. And I have posted in the classroom in the announcement two links about the Gartner report. If you look carefully, the link I posted for 2017, big data is not anymore in the hype. If you go to the same report a couple of years ago, just go to 1615, they exist, and you will find big data in the hype. It was there. And why was in the hype big data? Because the expectation were above what the technology at that point was able to give us. Today, you understand, is not anymore in the hype because most of the expectations are already possible to fulfill. So now, today, if you look to this hype in the technology, is in different direction. Is what is machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. And you will say, but these are new topics. These are topics just, let's say, this is the evolution of what big data is. Because machine learning exist for a long time, but actually with big data, machine learning was able to be empowered and to build, let's say, reliable and more exact solution to a different problem. Why? Because when you train the model with huge amount of data and then have a lot of data, not only to train the model, but to test the model, then actually the big data comes to help you in the let's say in the power of machine learning. So machine learning is just the evolution of big data, is the new term of big data, even though existed before that. The same thing, deep learning. Deep learning didn't exist without big data. So the evolution of big data are this new term you are hearing all the time in the last 2 years, which is machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence. And since this is the evolution of big data, this is actually actual big data reflection in technology and the need of the company. Of course, we are going to talk as much as we can in a single course. Actually, deep learning is already, since we cannot do everything in a single class, deep learning is already a small project in Data 640, which you now in 650 didn't have the opportunity to do it because this is new stuff in 640. Maybe some of you helped John, the TA, to test the assignment which we are putting this semester. If someone is interested to test this assignment, just contact me and I will provide it to you so you can get a taste of deep learning which you miss it in 640. And this is normal in all our curricula. This semester in this class we introduced also one new assignment, which is building chatbot using cognitive computing, which was not before for the people before you. And this is constantly in the whole program of the Master of Science in Data Analytics. So you should not feel that you missed something. If you are interested, it's just because technology evolves and the industry needs of data professional in this field are so demanding, we try to put as much as possible in the curricula and constantly updating. So you understand that when we talk about big data, we are talking about technology which will help to deal with analyzing, visualizing, storing this big data. And you understand, since all this is evolving constantly, you will have to have multiple integrated multiple skill under your belt as a data scientist, data analyst, and this is what mostly we are going to do. So this is one graphical representation about big data, which the first part stress in the volume of data. But the most important part is which is coming in point 2 and 3. Because big data is not just the size of the data. That was long ago. Hadoop already offered us the tool to store and search and analyze huge amount of data. The thing is the value of this data. Many people, many companies, let's put it this way, are tempted to store a huge amount of data, but without knowing why they are doing this. And if there is no purpose, no value of this data, actually, there is no point to spend resources to store this data. You have heard about the term of data lake. To sit there in the data lake, maybe at some point we are going to need them. So the thing here is with the value of the data, what you can give to the company from this data as a data analyst. And the other important issue today is the velocity of the data and the variety and veracity of the data. Why variety? We are talking about a lot of free text in writing document, picture, video, and this is not just about the volume of data. This is about the variety of data, the veracity, and the complexity. And the most important point I want to stress when we talk about big data, we have to focus in what is the complexity. Not so from here, just to summarize, big data is not just volume, it's not just Hadoop. We have to go more in deep in what is the complexity of big data, and then to find the data structure and approaches to deal with them and find the value in this data. Historically, I have this slide so you can reflect what we are talking about, because this is a very historic slide. We are talking about the 90s, the 2000, and the 2010. So this is like for us right now, prehistoric picture talking about the history of big data and the tool which appeared at that point to deal with what was big data at that point. So you understand that where Hadoop and NoSQL appeared in 2010, the driving force was to solve the problem of Facebook, YouTube, Yahoo, and so on and on and on. Today, 7, 8 years later, we have new problem, and we will try in this course to talk about this new problem, not just Hadoop, not just volume of data. In order to prepare ourselves for this, I very would like to see very in-depth discussion in these 2 weeks to understand totally the nature of big data. Not just the definition is this. We need to understand actually what is this about, and in order to give you some hint, that is the key slide. After this presentation, tomorrow I will be posting the recording in the classroom and the PowerPoint presentation. My suggestion is this and the next slide. You can go to them back and forth, and the purpose is the following. The top of this pyramid, which are the structured data, which we know as a table with row and column, are just 20% of the data. The wealth is down, starting from what is unstructured, and the unstructured presented here are divided in 3 different groups. You will say, why is needed? Well, okay, we understand the big data, the huge amount of big data is in unstructured data. That is the wealth of the data, and we are going to work mostly with this 80% of the data. Why to divide them in 3 groups? Very importantly, why? Because first, in life, in technology, not everything is black and white. We have the gray color, because you cannot just divide the thing structured and unstructured. Just a simple example. Here we have on the unstructured, what is in the down, the truly unstructured data, which is totally free text document and video, which has not structure at all, for which you will need tools like natural language processing and understanding and cognitive computing to actually get value of this totally unstructured data. But there are another unstructured data which have some kind of structure like stream data, clickstream. They are still unstructured, but there is some formatting which with effort you can get this formatting, and you do not need natural language processing in order to deal and to get insight of clickstream. So that's why this difference between the different category of unstructured data, you as a data analyst, you will have to understand in order to select the best tool and method and approach to deal and to get the value of the data. Because ultimately what you need to get is some value of this data. Also, as an example, a very simple example of the semi-structured data, which are the, let's say, the HTML, which you have HTML format, schema, and you have certain structure in the data, and you can work with them without needing actually the more complex natural language understanding methods for the truly unstructured text data. The truly unstructured text data examples, um, for instance, are insurance claim. I have summarized several examples here in this slide. Uh, can be insurance claim for any insurance medical record, um, any text in HR department. People are dealing with totally unstructured text. An example almost from any industry, if we look to the transcript of the customer service, which is a text, this is totally unstructured text also. And in order to get some value of all these texts, you need approaches of natural language processing and understanding, and we will be working with them. So my suggestion again, every time you do some of your project, return to these two slides, look what you're doing and why you're using this method or the other tool. Um, I will be giving this link in the classroom because I want that in this discussion, which is going to run for 2 weeks, you just don't concentrate in what is big data, that this is big volume of data. That you concentrate in what is the evolution of what we understand by big data, which we pass for what is smart data, and today we are going to what is cognitive and artificial intelligence. So this should be the ball of our discussion, and this is one of the links I'm going to post in the classroom, which is the Siemens perspective, what they understand by smart data. And I would like that everyone, when discussing the classroom, give his perspective and give example, because it's, that is the way to understand better the nature of big data and to understand what we are doing in the course and why we are doing this. This course, like all the courses in the program, are developed as a competence base. That means we go beyond the traditional courses in traditional university. Traditionally, what is a course? You have the resources, you read, you watch video, you learn, and then you are examined. You do exam. Here we go above that. You have to apply what you have learned practically in a project with real data, and we will be helping you to grasp the, let's say, the most adequate tool for the problem we are doing, and you will have to learn to do not only the concept we are studying, but tools and approaches. Here I want to stress in what to expect of this course. This course is not like the other courses in the program for this reason. When we go to the big data, since the complexity I have described it, the complexity is the main issue of big data, how to deal. We are not going to talk about totally new algorithm here. The algorithm you studied in data 630 and data 640 to build predictive modeling, the data mining algorithm, are basically the same algorithm we are going to use here. Here the difference is the approach, how to deal with this data, and the approach actually imply technology. And here you will get, let's say, this super necessary addition of skill for data analysts, which are the technology to deal with big data, and you will have to learn a lot of different technology to deal, at least, let's say, in a single course. We cannot touch all important points in the topic of big data. We are going to touch, let's say, mainly 4 different topics. 4 different topics will be natural language processing, artificial intelligence with cognitive, Hadoop uh, Hadoop, then Spark machine learning, and um, sentimental analysis in memory analytics. Those are the main topic in the course, which are strongly related with, let's say, the most widely required problem today industry need in big data are in this area. So that is what we are going to do. And of course, you will have the opportunity to learn new tools and new software. So the discussion are paramount because that is the only place where we are going to exchange idea of so much learning, reading and learning about the tools to deal with this problem. I just have summarized some stuff here about the program, which I feel responsible because I have found I've been teaching this course since we designed it in the program. So that means the first group of Master of Science in Data Analytics took this course with me, and we constantly evolve on this. And I have found that many people are coming, and you are almost at the end of the program, let's say this way, and they are not very clear about the program. So I have summarized some stuff. Even the program is new. We have designed it with the advisory board from industry, Booz Allen, Lockheed Martin, U.S. government, IBM, and so these are few of them. And at the program level, we are very close related to what the industry needs. And we are doing this advisory board twice a year. That's why you see that we are constantly updating courses. Right now, this advisory board is heavily advising us to put practical project, application of data analytics, cognitive analytics to cybersecurity. And this is the next step for summer. We are going to this. We just had the meeting with the advisory board. So as you see, very responsive to what are the industry needs. And we already have several recognition, which are summarized here um, from different professional organizations as outstanding, innovative program, partnership, and most importantly, we have three wonderful students from the program who last summer won the Watson Analytic Global Competition. Global, I mean the whole world. They were 210 teams from all the world, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, and we got a second place. That was wonderful achievement. This is just um, more informative than other thing, but I think it's gonna help you also to understand what we are doing in this course, reflect what you've been doing in other course, and understand better why we are doing this way. So here I have summarized how we are going to proceed in this course. This is part of the information in the syllabus, but I added here additional columns. So uh, since we are going to work with with several new tools for you, Hadoop, Spark, natural language processing tools, some cognitive with Watson Cognitive, and in memory analytics, you will need a lot of help from us. So we understand, and we are going to help what is named walkthrough every time we go to new tool. For instance, R is not new tool, but since some of you still have difficulty, and the first assignment is with R, you will have WebEx in R just to help whoever needs to reshape the R skill. We are going to have walkthrough on chatbots, which is going to be the second assignment, building chatbots using cognitive tools like Watson. Then we are going to have what is Hadoop and MapReduce. There the assignment is optional and it's big SQL on Hadoop. And it depends how many students decide to do it. We are going to hold also walkthrough in big SQL. Where we are going to stress more in what is big data management and analytic on top of Hadoop, the next paradigm is Spark, which is the new tool. So we are going to stress mostly as a graded assignment in Spark. We are going to use their Python notebook, and we are going to work in what is the today tendency in what is named the platform um, data science experience, where when data scientists can find all the tools. So, and the last one is what is the sentimental analysis. Again, here we will culminate what with this is the last assignment, which culminates using many of the things we did the whole course. And you are going to culminate with something practically, which is analyzing tweets in in memory analytic wide columnar database in the cloud, and you are going to connect several services in order to do this. Is actually the culmination on what we expect you learn in this course. So, any question up to here? Uh, Let me. I don't see anything in the chat, so I will proceed. But keep in mind, keep your question in the chat for in about 10 minutes. I will be responding everything. So returning again to the tools, what we are going to do is what is the today tendency in data science, data analytics. This is the historical move of the, let's say, of the platform to work data analytics. Before was the spreadsheet, then the data warehouse, where the data analyst would put a request to the IT department for the schema of the data warehouse to run reports, let's put it this way, because mostly what data warehouse is a tool to run reports. That means you will have fixed schema built by the IT department, and it's expensive. It's gonna take minimum 6 weeks to be built, but from then you can run again and again the same report. And you understand that this is reporting. You studied reporting part of analytics in the beginning of the program, but then you started learning what is machine learning, what is data mining, what is predictive modeling, and you understand that all these analytical procedure in order to get insight from real data and do some prediction, you need some flexible model. And this flexible model has advanced from data warehouse, which is fixed schema to solve just reporting, to what is the sandbox to the right, and this is the evolution from left to right, how the platform has evolved. In this last sandbox, the analyst is the owner of this sandbox. He doesn't need to request anything from the IT department. IT department actually provided this sandbox. He doesn't need any DBA for this owner to manage the data there. He owns this and he uses whatever is in this sandbox. So this is the general idea where industry is going, and this is the idea we are going to work on practically in this course. So since this is the idea, this is another representation of this same idea. To the left, I have the traditional approach to deal with data, which culminates with running report in the data warehouse, or the contemporary approach to deal with data, which is the approach actually workable to deal with big data, where you have the platform as a data analyst, you have an access to a platform which the IT department of your organization deployed, not only for you, for everyone. You have access to all these resources, and you get the data, the business problem, and then it's your decision which of them to use for this specific problem. And everything is flexible. You are going to run stream analytic, you choose these two components and done. You are going to do other type of predictive modeling, you use this tool. You are going to do machine learning in you need to do machine learning with big data. You are going to use Spark here in the cloud with object storage, and everything is there in your hand. So this is the contemporary let's say, approach to deal with the big data, and what mostly one heavy part to stress in this course. That's why I'm saying is different than the other courses, is to the approach to deal with this data. And I can tell you, the course is difficult because of this, because you will learn a lot of new stuff, but we are here to help you. The most important, asking questions. And let me tell you, you got here instructor and TAs who are very responsive and timely responding to your questions. So you can advance as much as you can. So the tools, given this approach in industry, we are going to use in the cloud. Everything except the first assignment, which is very individual, reshaping your R skill, everything else is going to be in the cloud. Why in the cloud? You understand the cloud has dominated in the last 5 years because of its flexibility, effectiveness, and very price effective. uh, Organizations are moving everything. First was data, and today is all the software, all services, platform, and even the whole infrastructure in the cloud. And why? Because it has been proven. If you are financial organization, why in the world you need to care about information technology infrastructure? You have to concentrate in what is your expertise. Then you uh, you have all your services and infrastructure contracted in the cloud from some provider which can manage. You don't have to spend time deploying this infrastructure, maintaining, updating, and having this infrastructure. The most importantly, if you have this infrastructure, your own infrastructure, like any project, it doesn't run 24/7, 36/5 day in the year. You have this infrastructure, use it as the project go, and most of the time it's just idle, it's not used, and you're paying for something which is not in use. So that's why the cloud proved to be so effective and price effective. You use it as needed. If you don't need it, you don't use it, and you pay only for what you use it. And that is the way we are going to work. Our platform is going to be the IBM Cloud. You have instruction in the classroom to sign up for academic account for the IBM Cloud. It's very important that you follow the instructions closely, because mm, let me tell you, there are some stuff. I know some of you are tempted not to read the instruction because are very skilled with software and think, oh yes, I'm going to go through this. It's very important that actually you go step by step, because otherwise, just to avoid some inconvenience, okay? And make sure you do this as soon as possible so you are ready when we start to work in this platform. Maybe some of you are going to ask, why in the IBM cloud and not in other cloud? AWS is the top cloud. Yes, but they are not the top in analytics. IBM is the top in analytics. If you see all the charts I have given you in the class, and this is recognized, they are not the top in cloud, but they have pretty good cloud. So since we are data analysts, data analytic, preparing data analysts, we are going to the best. And actually the best are IBM, and Microsoft Cloud is also very good for analytics. AWS is very good cloud for developer, but they don't have the analytical tool you will find in the IBM Cloud and in the Microsoft Cloud. So that's why our choice was with IBM. You will say, oh, why we don't go to the top cloud? We can go to the top cloud, but we don't have their access to the analytical tool we are going to get to the IBM Cloud. I'm going to release in a couple of weeks another instruction how to get academic account to the AWS, because if some of you have the time, are interested in developing in developer work, yes, uh, AWS is very good cloud for this, for developer, and you can go there also. But for analytic, we are going to concentrate our effort in the IBM Cloud. Moreover, in a single class, it's very difficult if you will have to work in 2 or 3 different cloud platforms. So here I have listed the most important services we are going to use from the IBM Cloud. And again, we are going to help you. I see already question. I will, let's see, because this is related question and I will respond to this. Well, I don't know what before you. Here is a private question to me. The IBM Cloud account is the cloud account you have instruction in the classroom. I don't think you have created this IBM Cloud account in another class. If you create it, you may have, but not for the class activity, maybe for some optional. So you have to do what is in the classroom. And actually, let me just share the classroom screen and show you what you have to. My screen. Okay. That's not. Um, okay, I will have to go to other application. Okay, I'm going to respond to this because it's very important that everyone understand what have to do. And let me tell you, the most important thing is you are on top. Okay, here is our classroom. And if you go to course content here, okay, you see, well, here are stuff which you don't see because they are not really. IBM Cloud Academic Account. This is the thing you have to do. Okay, I don't think you did this before. If you did it before, you have to extend. Oh no, this is not Watson Analytic. Sorry. Watson Analytic is not in this cloud. I understand now the confusion. No, Watson Analytic account is not going to affect this, not at all. Uh, Watson Analytic is totally different cloud. We are not going to talk about Watson Analytic in this class. Watson Analytic is Business Analytic 2 in Data 610. Okay, so if you have Watson Analytic account, that has nothing to do with this. You have to sign up. This is totally different. And I'm going to show what I'm talking about, why it's totally different. When you sign, you're signing for the IBM Cloud. Let me see. Now I'm not sharing. That is what you're signing for, the IBM Cloud. Okay? This is my account, and what you're going to see there are all these infrastructure platform. I'm in the catalog part of IBM Cloud. Now, IBM just rename it the cloud, like the cloud married another man. I hate that to say, but it's exactly this way. We were referring to this cloud as a Bluemix. And you may find a lot of stuff which are directing you to Bluemix. Even the link you see here says console@bluemix.net. And that was the name of this cloud, Bluemix. They just renamed it as IBM Cloud. And in order for us to be consistent with this, we are referring to IBM Cloud. But this is Bluemix. It's totally different from Watson Analytic and has nothing to do with Watson Analytic. Okay, I hope I answered this question. Let me see what else I have. So, by the way, I'm here. If you start clicking after you sign in the catalog, in the all infrastructure and in the all platform, you can get easily intimidated because there are at least 200 different services in different platforms. So we are going to be working in this one, which is the data and analytics. Here is Apache Spark. Here is the next, here is the data science experience and also the columnar database, which formerly was named DashDB, now is named Next Generation Database, which is again high performance in memory analytics. So we mostly are going to work in this platform, in the data analytic part of the platforms. Okay, Spark Analytics. And in what is Watson, but this is not Watson Analytic, this is the Watson Cognitive. Watson Cognitive is the, let's say, the artificial intelligence product which IBM threw 5 years ago and which won Jeopardy just as a proof of concept and then evolved it in different area of application, healthcare, financial, and almost in any area. So we are going to use this artificial intelligence cognitive application like visual, natural language classification, conversation, discovery to build chatbots. So this has nothing to do with Watson Analytic and should not prevent. I'm not looking to all the questions yet. I'm going to go to them, but please, when you posting question, post them to everyone because otherwise, when I'm answering, your colleague in the sitting here, they don't know what the question is, even if I read the question. Don't send them privately to me only. Please direct them to everyone so everyone will get benefits for what I'm talking. Okay? Well, here someone is talking about problem. We are going to deal with problem signing in the cloud with the TA. Here is the question, which I'm going to go to this. All assignments are individual in this class. The only assignment which is not individual is the class discussion. And you have to participate because class discussion in total are 10% of your grade. And you understand without this 10%, it's not possible to actually pass the class because otherwise in our assignment you will have to get 100, which is practically, you understand, practically impossible. Yeah. So what I was referring in the cloud to Watson is Watson Cognitive, which was built first as a proof of concept to win Jeopardy with the best player, but it's actually the advancement of cognitive computer, which is, let's say, an integration of the advancement in the artificial intelligence practically applied with machine learning algorithm with the purpose to understand human communication, sense like human, predict and infer, very similar what the way we do as a human. And the first demo was with answering question, but in very, let's say, quite of complicated environment, which is Jeopardy, which You cannot have all the answers uploaded in a supercomputer in order to play Jeopardy. And in 30 seconds, let's say, search all the databases and find the answer. Because the key in this computer, the Watson computer, is the question in the proof of concept, which were in the Jeopardy game. The questions are not available. Even if you search the whole internet, you will have to make some inference given the data, the evidence. You will have to make inference because the answer is not directly available. So that is the artificial intelligence part, which with the help of machine learning was they built this, let's say, powerful product, which we are going to have access to several services. I show it you in Bluemix, in IBM Cloud. Sorry, I'm just saying Bluemix because you have to get used to this, that Bluemix and IBM Cloud is the same thing, because all the link you see are saying Bluemix. I just show it to you. All the link are showing saying Bluemix. So mostly this is the main part of my presentation, because everything else I have here. If you ask me regarding the assignment, the way this is in the syllabus, the way to teach assignment, and I want to stress some people just miss at the end of the program. The discussion are graded and you are going to get 10%. Okay, they are discussion, let's say, combined every 2 weeks is one discussion, but don't wait. Discussion is discussion. Get the, let's say, get the advantage of the discussion. Participate, exchange idea, because this is the place to learn actually. Not just use this, oh, I'm going to put few words, I'm going to get point toward my degree. This doesn't help. So invest your time. The classroom is full of material. Take advantage. Don't concentrate only in the mandatory reading, in the required. They are optional reading. And also, if you go to the classroom, down to the course content, they are e-book. The classroom is actually packed. And I would like to share, to just to point you where, because some of you, I find out at the end of the course, they never realize that there is something else. So I'm right now in what is course content. Let me put myself as a student so you see exactly the same, because I have some stuff which you don't see. Okay, so this is week 1. This is exactly what you see in the classroom right now. Later on you will see more. Don't miss all the updates which are coming in the announcement area, all the due day here, all the alerts, and in the content, because some of you are tempted, jump to the discussion and that's it. Here is what you see in course content. So syllabus mandatory, course content, they are interesting things which we have what is named Canon resources. Why? Because everything you have learned about SQL, about Python, about R, we have summarized here so you can reshape, remember, or learn even more. And this is to help you, because all this we are going to use for big data. These are two which already you were exposed and practiced it in the program, and the resources for your convenience are summarized here. Hands-on resources. The academic, okay, here are the instructions about the IBM Cloud. Okay. The week 1 activity, which I'm referring to required and recommended. And here is the treasure. Go to content resources and look what we have there. We have reading resources. We have how to deal with your student email, Gmail, Google Hangout, because your student email at UMUC is a Google email actually, because behind the scene we are Gmail. At student umc.edu is as well as our faculty email. All these are Google email, and you have all the benefits of Google email. And all these, I'm scrolling here down, all these links are book, are text, book, and electronic format. So this is the wealth. Find the time to deal not only with the required reading, and of course, if you don't have the time during the 12-week, for 4 months after the class is over, you still will have access to this content. Just make sure you understand you have it, and you can go ahead and learn more and more and more. So the assignment I already said, the first one is very going to do to what is text analysis, which is the base of natural language processing. Then we are going to the chatbots with Watson, machine learning in Spark, and sentimental analysis using uh, white columnar database in memory analytics. We have Big SQL, which we provide all the instruction and everything, but it's not mandatory for grading. If you choose to do it, you are very welcome, and we are going to accept it in the assignment folder. It's just not graded. And I think this is all I have. The grading policy is the same like for everyone, for every course. What is ABC? This is in the syllabus. Here, this is the slide I want to stress. Make sure you overview, you read all lesson guidance before you jump to the assignment. Otherwise, you will miss the point what you are doing and why you are doing. Some of you, I have found that are tempted to go directly to the assignment. I understand your excitement because our new stuff, interesting stuff, I understand that. But let me tell you, in order to get full benefits of what we are doing, make sure you read before jump to the programming assignment. Otherwise, you are going to miss the point, what we are doing and why we are doing it. So that is my very important, let's say, suggestion. And make sure you ask all the questions. If your questions are not personal, please do it in the classroom. Why? This is benefits for everyone. Maybe your colleagues also have similar questions, but they still are not there, and they will see already the answer. We save time, and maybe some of your colleagues even are not going to be able to formulate that actually this is the question, and you are helping to learn together. And that's why in online classes, this is nothing wrong with email, let's put it this way. But the best way to communicate is for each assignment, we have a Q&A section. So put in the corresponding area. For instance, for creating the cloud account, we have Q&A. For first assignment, we will have Q&A. For second assignment, we will have Q&A. So make sure if your question is not personal, to post it there. Of course, we are more than happy to answer your question by email also. Just I want to stress on the benefits. And our time is not more than 24 hours because from time to time, some of us are having other duty, and we are sometimes it can take more than 8 hours, for instance, to respond, up to 24. You should not get frustrated because that's why we have instructor and TA at any point in the classroom. So I think I can proceed with the question right now, and I'm scrolling to see if there are questions which I have not responded. Okay. The question here is, beside chatbots, what else will the cognitive analytics section cover? The cognitive analytics section, we will have for 3 weeks class discussion. We will explore different Watson services, but as a class. You can explore the visual recognition, which is actually the same deep learning which you can do with TensorFlow in Data 640, just here with different tool. And you will be able to explore in the cognitive analytics section the different services of Watson and put your finding in the classroom. You will explore, there are several very interesting services like Personality Insight. You can upload in Watson a text of Twitter or whatever text about the way a person communicates, and Watson can is trained to identify personality traits to that person. Other very interesting uh, you will find several very interesting services. So we, for 3 weeks in cognitive, we are going to have discussion, and the application will be just practically to build a chatbot for 2 weeks. Yeah, I see already someone responded about the visual recognition is another example. Thank you. Who is responding? Oh, Elena. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's see more questions here. Let me I can let me tell you, I will try right now, let's see, to unmute everyone. If someone is wants to talk, you can talk. You see the noises, that's why I muted everyone, but now you are able to mute yourself and speak. Okay. Now, I think this experiment is telling you why I mute everyone. You see the noises? So we cannot have more than a couple of persons not muted. Otherwise, the noises. This technology WebEx is this way. We have to be in mute, most of us. So, but if you would like to ask a question, speaking, to the right hand in participate, when you find your name, there is a mic, just click it and you will be on mute and you can speak if you don't want to type. Gopati, do you have anything to add? I may have missed some important stuff. Of course, we cannot say everything in the first meeting, but Yelena, you, any addition?
No, just I've been checking the discussion, and yes, in session 9041, I responded with a link that you would usually check anytime when you have issues with accessing the Bluemix application. There's a page where you can check the status, right? Like this
Yes.
morning, for instance, the registration page was down, so it's fixed right now. You should be able to register for a Bluemix account now. But
Okay, I'm showing
yes,
where speak. You can speak. I'm going to share where.
yes,
You go here to support.
yes,
You
uh-huh.
go to support center
Actually, it's a status page, right?
to the status. Okay.
Yes,
Where?
support and on the
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
bottom,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
uh-huh,
To the status.
yes.
So here is what is working and what is not working. And I'm glad you brought this, Yelena. Okay.
Mhm.
Continue. I'm going to add
Yeah.
something. All this is working right now.
Yes.
And we are actually US South.
Mhm.
Let me tell you something. Sometime it happened to me. For some reason, I'm changing on computer. I'm changing the browser, and it changed me to the United Kingdom. And when Bloomix changed me to the United Kingdom, I don't have anything available because my account is for US South. That is what we are. US and South is the whole continent. US and South America. It's not the South of the United States, you know. It's the whole US, Canada, and South America. So that is our account. If you are somewhere else, you are not going to have service. Also, so you see here right now, there is one problem, but it's not with us. It's actually the Watson conversation has in Sydney and in the United Kingdom, but we are okay here in the United States. So what is the beauty of working in the cloud? I'm glad Elena brought this thing here. The thing is that if you something doesn't work for you, that doesn't mean there is a technical problem, because sometimes you are tempted to start talking about technical problem. Actually, in the cloud, how are the things? If they work for me, for the TA, and for most of the people in the class, things are working. And if it doesn't work for you, the first thing to start is your browser. Maybe you have to change browser. Maybe your internet is slow. Maybe you are in a place where several people are streaming and actually you don't have enough bandwidth for the computational work you are doing in the cloud, because some of the tasks you will be doing, you actually what most you need is fast internet. Everything is in the cloud, so it's your computer with the memory and the cloud. So main point, if something doesn't work, don't assume that the fault is of the services of the software. If it works for everyone, the issue is in your computer. Of course, we are going to try to help you. I'm just giving you hints so you have less stress. Let's put it this way. And think about how you are going to use the services in the cloud. You are using them through the browser. So uh, that's why the main starting point is your internet connection is good enough, memory in your computer, and your browser. Sometimes the browser, because of the settings in your browser, and then you understand there are so many browser and settings can present problem. The first thing is try to change browser to see if the problem fixed. So mainly, if things are working for the TA, for me, and for other classmates, the problem is not in the service. Usually, if there is problem in the service, we are posting an announcement, because where is problem? I already showed you the page. It is announced. Even if it can be planned maintenance, announce it, or it can be any technical issue which any software can present. But you see, at this single point, there are very few problems. And let me tell you, this is actually the industry platform IBM is selling to customer, and we have the advantage to have access to this platform. So this is the real platform. We are just getting it for free. And of course you will say, yeah, but for free we must have some restriction. Yeah. The main restriction we have, how many services simultaneously you can work. And the restriction is 10 services. There is not such a thing you cannot work with 10 services simultaneously, because most of our projects require 2 or 3 simultaneous services open. So if you at some point reach 10 services, you won't be able to open new one. So you will have to delete one and open another one. But this is just to learn how to work in the cloud. And this is totally normal. Most of the company, when they contract actually services in the cloud, they contract services also with certain restrictions just to cut price, you know. So you are going to get here real training. It's gonna be difficult, I understand. Just follow the instruction.
Yeah.
Other question, Elena, I just jumped
Yeah.
in you. You can
No,
go
no,
ahead
no
and
problem. No problem. I was just going to say that sometimes the email could go to the spam folder. So make sure you check your spam folder. And also, if you tried to register this morning when the service was down, this is what you can do now to recover if you still have not received your email. Go to Blumix account and hit login. Enter your username and password, right? Which is username, user student email, and a password. Then you're gonna see a message, and the message should have a link called resend. So click on it. Maybe you're lucky. Maybe you will receive an email then. Try to resend. That's a workaround. Yeah.
actually, that is one of the screenshot in the instruction that you can, if you don't receive, if it is not in your spam mail, click in the link of resend.
Yeah. Huh?
Well, I don't see. People are just getting warming up, and what I see is a lot of enthusiasm in both sections.
Yeah.
And I'm confident we are going to have wonderful experience in this class. Again, I know it's difficult, it's too much, but there is no other way to cover in a single class the most important about big data. Anyone else? Oh, is Linish here? Yes. Okay. There is one thing I have forgotten. Okay. Um, Linish is our other TA. He just was a little late. Let me tell you, Linish is one of the graduates in this program. In addition, that he has more than 25-year experience in industry in the telecom. So he's professional in IT, and he finished our program year ago or more year and a half ago, and since then is dedicating his valuable professional time just to be in the classroom with you guys. And we are going to have something which is extra in this class, which is, Linish, can you explain what we are talking about?
Sure. So, thanks, Elena, for the lovely introduction and welcome class, and congratulations to everyone for being at this point in your MSDA program. The addition that Elena just was talking about is the Kaggle competition. We can have we'll be having a competition for this class, all the sections of Data 650, and so very soon we'll be, by the end of this week, you will see an information in the classroom discussion area, or in one of the course section areas, where you'll get all the information of how to join this this competition. And in the next webinar, we'll also go over some of the aspects of this competition, so as to make sure that you understand what is required to be done. But however, all that information will be there, and we are very excited to bring this competition to you. This is our third instance of bringing this competition to Data 650. The past students have really taken good advantage of it, and hope you also will be able to take some good advantage of this whole competition, which is going to give you some idea. And some of you may have already heard about Kaggle competitions, which is one of the prestigious competitions in the data science. So hopefully this would be really helpful to you. Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks, Elena.
Linish.
Thanks, class.
So keep eye, and in order to get you enthusiastic, we have decided to give you 2 extra points for being successful. Of course, you have to present a good grade because you will be graded by points how you did in this competition. So we the 100 you get 100 is 2 point and it's just going to be prorated. And these are additional point to the 100% which the gradebook is set, so it can make the difference between the B and A. And I know how. I've been student also. I know how it works. Just to get you enthusiastic, you are gonna get extra point about this. And I see another question here. Chris is asking if we are aware of issue with Mac versus Windows. No. And this is the beauty of the cloud. We have students with Mac and Windows all the time because this is the today reality. Uh, and since we are going in the working in the browser, there is no difference at all. That is the beauty on the cloud. There is no issue with the software we are using in this class between Mac and Windows again, because in the cloud you are in the browser. Make no difference browser if the computer is Mac or Windows. So I think this is going to give you some relief, because I do understand for some software Mac is not so versatile like Windows, and some students had experience problem. And actually, that is the tendency in the whole program. Besides having R in your personal computer, you have worked, everything else is somehow accessed in the virtual environment and has no difference. Besides, SAS has slight difference between Mac and Windows machine, but everything else, which is software as a service in the cloud, makes no difference. So, Chris, I think this can put you at easy. Any other question? Well, if there are not more questions, I know that the time is very valuable to everyone.
Oh,
And
we
yes,
forgot something important. Do not enter the credit card information into Bluemix. I mean, not we forgot to tell everybody not to enter the credit card information.
well, it's in the instruction everywhere, but yes, it's good to
Somebody always does.
stress, to stress. If you put the credit card there, we cannot help. You will be charged. Okay? So don't do it, because our service is free. If you go to the setting of your account and you go to overall the thing which are going to the left hand, you will read your trial is totally free. At the end of the trial, which is 6 months, that is what the cloud is telling you. If you don't upgrade your service, upgrade is put a credit card, you won't be able to use your service. But we have the meaning to extend your account another 6 months, so don't worry about this. Never put a credit card. None. Anything else important I'm missing? Well, if no more important, I understand you have a lot of duty. Everyone is busy. I don't see more question, and we can end the meeting. Um, I'm just going to